Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time seeing me, welcome to A Complete Vibe. So over here we discuss manifestation tips, personal development, just things you can do to become a better person. So this video today is going to be about how I manifested my building, not once but twice. And the first building was 1,000 square feet. The second building was 3,500 square feet. And I end up only paying half of the leasing price on the second building. So stay tuned. These are the 10 steps I did. These are the 10 steps I normally do when I'm trying to manifest anything. It may change up a little bit depending on what that physical thing is that I'm trying to manifest, but for the most part, this is the standard blueprint. So number one, I became very clear about my desire. I knew I wanted this particular building. When I originally spoke with the landlord, he stated that the rent would be $3,000. I knew I only wanted to pay $1,500 for this building. Everything else about this building was perfect. The location, the parking lot, definitely the size. It just was a perfect location. So a quick backstory, my very first building, I was doing wedding and party decor. So the building, it was 1,000 square feet, and the building was basically so me and my clients could have somewhere to sit down and talk, because, you know, I would go try to talk to them to get a better understanding about what, you know, what they envision for their event. And, you know, restaurants are loud, it's not personal. So I just decided to get a building. So my very first building was just for that, to be able to meet one-on-one with my clients. So when I knew I wanted to move into a bigger building, I was still going to be doing the wedding decor, but once kind of halfway along, I decided that I wanted to do a selfie museum. So the second building, I knew once I started doing these manifestation techniques that it would be a selfie museum and not another wedding decor type of business. So, but yeah, first things first, like I said, I got very clear on my desire, on my intention. I got it crystal clear in my mind that I wanted this particular building. I wanted it by a certain date. And then this takes me to my next step. I began to act as such. And what I mean by that, like I said, I knew that I was manifesting this building. So, you know, if you were to receive any building, what are the things you would do? You would go look at paint samples. I drew out a floor plan on a piece of paper. I will insert that. And then I also drew out a bigger floor plan on a like poster board, and I put that above my bed. And I will literally like look at these floor plans for hours. I had it mapped down to the T, exactly where I wanted every selfie station, how big I wanted the selfie station, how many selfie stations I wanted in general. I had it all mapped out to the T. I mean, it was like, y'all, the perfect blueprint. So the next thing I would start doing, I would physically touch the building. So the building had a lot of like storefront windows facing the front. So you can physically look inside the building with no problem and see the entire building. So even though I didn't have a key or I didn't have access to the inside of the building just yet, I would physically touch the outside of the building. I would thank God and thank the universe in advance for this building. And since I could see inside of the building, like I said, I was able to map out my floor plan. And that takes me to my next step, is to visualize. So visualize and become emotionally connected to the building. And so what I mean by that is I had read, you know, a while back that whenever you're in the process of visualizing something, put movement into that visualization. And for whatever reason, when you dance and start moving, you know, it turns on certain chemicals in the brain, and it kind of just like speeds up that visualization process to make it happen even faster. It's kind of like putting your foot on the gas, you know, when you were going slow at first, and then completely putting your foot on the gas. Like, it's a acceleration that's going to help your visualization or whatever you're manifesting come to pass. So I will visualize everything. I will visualize the owner giving me the keys and saying, "Congratulations, young lady." I will visualize myself physically in the building working. I will visualize myself in the building painting. I will visualize myself in the building speaking to the customers. And sometimes I would go like into such a deep meditation that I would actually cry. Like, I would be so happy and so excited and so grateful, you know, for this building or for my customers coming in, that I would literally cry during this meditation or visualization process. And it's something about when you become emotionally connected to a desired outcome. Like I said earlier, doing that happy dance, doing the happy dance and physically crying, physically feeling excited about this building, they go hand in hand. All of these steps is just going to make your manifestation not only happen, but you're going to feel great about it. I mean, how would you feel if somebody literally just came up and gave you the keys to your dream building? You're going to be excited. You're going to cry. You're going to thank them. Thank that person. You're going to thank whatever your higher power or source is, you know. So you have to incorporate those feelings and those actions as well. My next step, I was quick to curb the naysayers. You know, I know people are kind of on the line of while you're in the process of manifesting something, if you should speak it out to anyone or if you should keep it to yourself. With this particular manifestation, I spoke it to everyone. I told everyone, like, yo, I have a selfie station coming. Y'all get ready, get your kids ready, get babe ready. You know, y'all can come here for a date night. Like, I told any and everybody. I would tell people, you know, I'm only going to pay half price for this building. And it was plenty of people who told me I was crazy. Plenty of people who told me that it didn't make any sense for me to pay half. Like, why would this man I don't know give me half off of this building? It made no sense. Logically, it made no sense. But one thing about me and what I have learned within this lifetime is logic does not apply to me. I absolutely get any and everything that I want. I don't care logically what it sounds like, what it feels like. If it doesn't make sense to anyone else, as long as it makes sense to me, then that's all that matters. As long as I want it and it's a desire of mine, it's attracting itself to me. And that's what I firmly believe. Like, 10 toes down, you could not tell me otherwise that I would not get this building for half off, because that's what I wanted. That's what I have put myself in alignment with, and it felt so good to my spirit. You know, I knew it was coming. So when the people came along and told me that it didn't make sense, and one of my so-called friends actually told me that I was dreaming too big. And, you know, another one of my friends told me that I should just stay in my place because I was trying to do too much. So yeah, and that came from people direct, like close people to me. And I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt my feelings. But at the same time, it's kind of like no one can completely understand your vision. People don't always understand why something makes sense to you. But just like with any other vision or prescription, if I try to put on your glasses, it's your prescription would not work for me because that's not my vision. We are capable of seeing two completely different things. And that's the same way I feel when it comes to your visions about life or your desires about life. Everyone else doesn't have to agree. Everyone else doesn't have to understand. As long as I understand and it feels good to me, and that's the route that I want to go, then that's all that matters. So bypass the naysayers, prepare yourself. It comes with the territory. That's what happens. You know, everybody dreams at the level that they're on, you know, and I'm a big dreamer. I don't have a problem saying what I want. I don't have a problem, you know, reaching for the biggest stars in the universe. That's fine with me because I know I'm capable of receiving it. But people can only comprehend at the level that they're at. So sometimes they just can't understand your vision because you guys are on two separate levels, and that's okay. So my next step I would do was that I would visualize and script every single day. And I would visualize the conversation of me asking the landlord for the discounted rate. I would visualize myself in the building. I would visualize myself pulling up to the building and getting out the car and putting the key in the door. It actually, when I said earlier that I would physically touch the building, I had a key that would go into the lock. It wouldn't unlock the door, but it would go into the lock. So I would actually practice. I would actually drive myself, like physical me, real me, would drive myself to the building and put the key in the lock. And I say, you know, thank you, God. Thank you for this building. Thank you, universe. I love my building. And like I said, even though that key wasn't the real key, it still helped me visualize putting the key into that lock or putting that key into that door that belonged to me. So visualizing, scripting, and grounding I incorporate all three of these into my everyday. This whole process took about 2 weeks from the time I decided I wanted the building to the day I actually got the key. It took about 2 or 3 weeks or so. So every single day, I would do grounding. I would go outside barefooted, get next to any type of nature, and go into a meditation, a standing meditation, where basically you will visualize a root growing from the top of your head, like coming down into your head. And slowly the root is growing throughout your body, throughout your arms, throughout your lungs. With every breath, every inhale, the root goes down a little bit more until it gets down to your feet. And when it gets down to your feet, you're gonna like keep pushing the energy or the so-called root into the ground. And you're going to picture it going through the top layer of the dirt and then lower and lower till you get to the core of the earth. And you do this to become one with nature. Your belief is your belief, but I believe God in the universe is all within the same thing because you can't limit God, you know, so God is everything. And so God is nature. And I did this to become more connected with source, to become more grounded myself, to get physically planted in a certain area. I wanted to physically plant myself within that building. So I did grounding every day. I did scripting. I would write out how grateful and how grateful I am to have this building, how good it feels to wake up in the morning and head to a building that I absolutely love to work and, you know, be amongst people that come to my business to have fun and have a good time. I did these 3 steps in visualizations. I did it every day. I set timers on my phone so I would not forget. It did not matter where I was at. This was getting this building was the main focus for me. So it completely took over my life. And that was okay with me because this was a big deal for me. Looking back on it, I should have just manifested the building for completely free. But I mean, you live and you learn. So, you know, what you gonna do? It's okay. The next thing I did was I believed with my entire being that this building was mine. I mean, it felt so connected to me. It felt so genuine. It felt like it was mine. I knew this building was mine. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I would have this building soon. I knew that the landlord would give me the keys and agree to my price soon. I knew that I would wake up in the morning and drive to this building. I knew that I would have to quickly start remodeling this building because when I originally got the building, it was completely pink. Pink walls, pink carpet, pink tile, pink everything. And so I knew I would have to completely remodel this building, you know, like I would have to act on it. I would have to get in the process of being a business owner. So doing all these steps helped me to completely believe that it was my building. It was no gray area. This was my building, period. It was my building. And so if I believe that this is my building, if I believe that this business, my natural next step to do would to make social media accounts. So that's what I did. I had decided on my name. I had filed my tax ID number. Even though I had put my tax ID number with my physical address, it was okay. I went and got a business license and I began to do market research as well. I figured out my demographic, who was my avatar or my ideal customer, and I started to write down ways I could market directly to them. Market my selfie station directly to them. I acted as such completely across the board in every sense of in everything a business owner would be. That's what I became. I dressed the part, I looked the part, I felt the part, I spoke the part, I behaved as such, I moved as such. I started getting my taxes in order because, like I said, I knew this building was coming to me. Then my next step was the call to action. I woke up one morning and I told myself, this is the day. This is the day I'm going to ask the landlord for half off of the asking price. And this is the day he's going to accept it. This is the day, you know, maybe a few days later, we're going to meet up so he can give me the keys and I can sign the lease. Like, I made the decision that this was the day. And so I made the call to him. I was scared out of my mind. I was literally like shaking. My hands were literally shaking. And I called him and I told him, you know, I really want this building. I need to increase my storefront size. And I was like, this building is perfect for me. I have already laid out the floor plan. I have already started the process of remodeling and getting my contractors together. This is the building for me. And I was like, I'm only willing, the asking price for the lease was $3,000 and it was supposed to be a 5-year lease, which is pretty standard in commercial buildings. Well, standard where I live. And so I told him I only wanted to pay $1,500. I told him I wanted to do a year lease and then we will work out every year after that. I just didn't want to be tied up for 5 years. And it took me so long to say that. Like that, what I just said to you guys, it took me so long to say that because I was so nervous. I don't know why. I just was nervous. And I told him within that conversation, you know, I know your asking price is $3,000, but you know, I'm only comfortable paying $1,500. And you know, when can we meet to sign the lease? And his response to me was, okay, you want to meet tomorrow? And I was like, yes, I do. I do. It was just that simple. Well, it wasn't that simple because I had to go through all those steps. I had to literally tell my mind, tell myself that this was my building, act as such, ask the universe or ask God, prepare myself to receive it. And I actually received it. I think we just don't know how powerful we really are. Like, it's so much energy, it's so much power within us, and you're gonna have to learn to tap into it and start using it. This universe is plentiful. I mean, if you ask every single person on earth what their desire is, no one will say the same thing. Everyone doesn't want $2 billion. Some people just want a comfortable home to live in. Some people just want to have a few days off of work so they can rest and spend time with their kids. Some people just want to be able to pay their bills with no problem. You know, everyone doesn't want the same thing. Therefore, it's plenty to go around. It's plenty for everyone to have their heart's desire. You can never ask for too much. You can never, by asking for something, you can never mess up someone else's blessing, because what's for you is meant for you. You know, so anytime you do ask, you do want to make sure that you include that you're asking for whatever your desire is with no harm to none, no harm to anyone else, no harm to yourself. You do want to make sure you include that with anything you're trying to manifest or any of your desires, because you don't never want to receive anything on ill intentions, or you don't want anyone to have to die for you to get something. You know, you don't put that bad energy or that bad karma out there, you know. And my last tip, to be so grateful, so thankful. I mean, when I met with the landlord a few days later, I literally hugged him, and I just told him how grateful I was for this building, how amazing this building was going to be for me, in my business. You know, just I was beyond grateful. I spoke it, I felt it. I felt it to my core. So that's my last step, to be grateful. Be grateful from day one until you actually receive what you want. Always operate with a grateful heart and a grateful spirit, because it allows things to attract to you or come into your life a little bit easier when you're operating from a grateful state. Okay, so if you're manifesting a building, make sure you comment below and tell me what type of building. Tell me all about the building you're trying to manifest. Tell me what the walls are going to look like, what the floor is going to look like, what area of town, what city is going to be in. You know, like, let's get on one accord and manifest some stuff together. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.